Good sleep is everything. That's why Ollie's science-backed support is made with a blend of melatonin and L-theanine for both kiddos and grown-ups. So when your mind won't switch off, you've got something that can help. Your racing thoughts and restless nights won't stand a chance. Find Ollie Sleep Solutions for the whole family at ollie.com. That's OLLY.com.
Get business done with the new American Express Graphite Business Cash Unlimited card. With unlimited 2% cash back on all eligible purchases, unlimited 5% cash back on flights and prepaid hotels booked through American Express Travel Online, and a flexible spending capacity that can grow with your business, you'll have the confidence to keep building. Apply today and earn a welcome offer of $1,500 cash back after you spend $50,000 in qualifying purchases on your new card within the first 6 months of card membership. Terms apply. Learn more at go.amex/graphite.
Had to do it.
I'm out.
Hi, this is Zap, and welcome to the Reset and Zap podcast.
I just need a reset. No, it's not enough to press pause. I think I need a reset. I need a reset. Reset.
In this episode, guys, get ready because we're going to talk about creative art versus business art.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to talk about a topic that actually came from you, sir.
Yeah,
where
I remember this, yes.
We talked about, is turning a hobby into a business a good or bad thing?
Yes.
And so if you guys are ready for this, then guess what? Tune in for the Recent Zap podcast.
There we go. That's what I was waiting for.
This show is all about that and more. We talk about gaming, work-life balance,
Yep.
parenthood.
Oh, a lot of that.
A lot of it. We're proud of our kids. Okay, so what can we do about it?
Yeah,
they're literally right there.
Yeah, like
around
right there.
us.
He's right there.
We coexist together every day. Yeah. And much, much more. So if this is the type of content you enjoy listening to, then you're in the right spot. Thank you for tuning in. As we have this discussion, I encourage you guys to interact with the different platforms. You can search for us on all podcast streaming platforms. And don't forget to leave us a rating. Leave us some feedback on how we're doing, because we're close to now officially finalizing season 4.
Oh, yeah.
Season 4. How has it felt so far? This the longest journey, by the way. The longest journey.
That was actually what
season.
I was about to say. I was about to say this felt like the longest season.
Yeah.
Because it is the longest
like
season.
Like Expedition 33.
Because it is the longest season. So that's what it felt like.
We literally ended on 24 episodes. 24 episodes.
24
episodes.
Because
typically our seasons consist of about 12. Or around 12 episodes.
Yeah, we basically doubled.
We doubled the amount
of this season. Yeah.
So that was kind of crazy. Pretty ambitious too, if you ask me.
Very.
But I'm gonna let you take full control of this discussion, because, like I mentioned earlier, this was pretty much your idea, and I'm actually curious as of where did this come from, because we've talked about this before, but like where did the idea really come from?
I mean, well, it literally just came from myself. Like for me, music is my passion, but it's kind of hard to explain. In a way, it hasn't become a business yet, but it's always been something that was a possibility.
Okay.
Because, I mean, a lot of people do make a living doing music.
Yeah. So
I've always wondered, like, which way do I want to go with it? Like, am I doing this for fun? Am I doing this to make it? Like, what is my end goal? Because, every time I come up with, what we're doing for every year, and I always have the thought in my mind of, what is the end goal? Like, what is the purpose? What am I doing this for? And there's always, like we've talked about before, there's always that one point in every content creator's life where they have to decide. where they have to make a choice.
Is this worth it? Is this worth my time?
Or not even that, just a choice of like, all right, I'm going down this path, things are going great. Do I want to do this full time? Like, do I want to do this full time, make this my living, and make this the way I make my living, or do I want to just continue to do it for fun?
So this is a very like content creator / artist / entrepreneur moment, because you're asking the question: is turning a hobby into a business going to ruin my passion for it?
Yeah. And I mean, to be quite honest, in a way, doing content creation with my music and going public with my music, in a way, has kind of ruined it for me. Like, I find myself being a lot more analytical when it comes to music. Like, I find myself being a lot more judgmental when it comes to music. Like, I can't just simply just enjoy something just to enjoy it. Like, I gotta analyze it on every level now. Like, how is the production? How is the lyrics? How is the tone? How is the delivery? Now it's like I can't just simply just enjoy something just to enjoy it.
So you found yourself that from time to time when you're sitting down in your own leisure, you as a casual listener, you can't call yourself anymore a casual listener.
Yeah, like the casual listening stuff is gone for me. Like that aspect of it is completely gone.
You can't avoid it.
Yeah, it's just there's nothing I could do about it now because I've gotten my hands on it too much. And my thoughts has always been like, all right, if I'm trying not to be dark and downer.
Well, I do have a question
on this
for
episode,
you.
But go ahead.
So, if that's the case, when you're on social media, do you find yourself not even able to enjoy those like trends or songs that pop up because unintentionally you find yourself trying to break down what may have caused it to trend on social media in the first place?
Oh yeah, I do it every time. I do it with everything, not even just that. Like even with like mainstream artists, I find myself analyzing like, all right, why did this work? Why didn't this work? What made this pop? What didn't make this pop? Like what had to be done for this to happen? And what I find a lot of the times is it's not really about the artisticness of it.
Yeah.
It's very specific things that music can do to trigger emotions in people.
Well, I guess you know what? Let's do this. Because we might have actually casual listeners here that don't fully understand how music works.
Okay.
So why don't we give them a short little crash course and insight of like, this is what happens. If people do create music in a certain way to trigger certain reactions or get certain outcomes out of it,
Okay. Well, I mean, one of the easiest ways to explain this would just be to break down like what we call the hook in music, which is usually the part of the song that is repeated over and over throughout the song. And during the hook, what we find is that repetition is the best to get reactions out of people. Something that's easily recitable and that is repeated several times. So you would take a simple line like, let's say,
I'm trying to go back and think like to my album, like what would be a perfect hook, and then from your album. And let's be clear, we didn't intentionally do it that way. It just happens to be that maybe you do it so long that you already are used to writing hooks in a certain way.
Yeah, and it's not even me. Like I can one of my favorite artists that I love.
Okay, let's do that.
The Migos. I absolutely love the Migos and what they do, but they are actually the masters of this. And I've gotten a lot of the information that I've gotten from them. And one of their breakout songs was a song called Versace. And the hook simply just went Versace, 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 Versace. Versace, 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 like
and
that.
so it's just the way they said it, the playfulness behind it.
But it's the repetition.
Yeah.
It's something that people, what they say is if it's something that you can get people to sing along with, it'll stick in their minds longer. And then that triggers that emotion in them. So like you want something that's not a lot of words, easily repeatable.
Kind of like Rihanna's Shine Bright Like a Diamond.
Yeah, shine bright like a diamond.
Yeah.
Shine bright like a diamond.
Simple sentence.
Shine bright like
and just
a
repeat
diamond.
it.
Like you want that part of the song that people what they call it is an earworm. Is what they call that. It's an earworm. It just gets in there and then you just can't get it out. That's why they call it an earworm.
Which I think is also what people usually explain as like they hate the song, but after a while, because they've heard it so much, they find themselves humming to it after a while.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like
So it could be something you don't even like.
Yeah,
But
one of my least favorite songs of all time. We talked about this before.
we were making fun of it. Yeah.
Gucci Gang.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang.
Terrible.
Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang. I hate the song, but I always remember that hook.
Yeah.
It's gonna be stuck in my head for the rest of my life. So it's like that's what in the industry they call it an earworm, because you know a worm gets in your ear and you can't get it out. So it's an earworm, and that's how you write your hooks to to get it more known. And then doing your verses, you want those moments that people can repeat. You want those certain lines that just stick out, so that when you get to that part, is that part of the song, like, oh, this is my favorite part. Like that. Like you always want those parts somewhere in there that people will always remember.
Which usually the artists, if they're like live, they'll be quiet in that part because they're already anticipating that their audience
is going to say it because they
knows that line.
Perfect example is on I'm not sure if it's out yet or not, but Thousand Star actually does this quite well. Actually, it's pretty funny because he has those lines where it's just like I always end up saying that part every time. And one of my most favorite ones is touch grass.
Touch grass.
Like you, every time that part of the song comes up, you're gonna say it.
Yeah.
My side is waiting on you. Touch grass. Like, that would be a perfect example. As soon as you get to that part, you would just be like, you would take the mic, you would point it at the audience, and everybody would say, touch grass. Like that's that you're gonna have those moments. So it's like, so that's what I'm talking about when I say music is written a certain way to be popular. And it's a trick. It's the way, they take I think it's psychological evaluations, and like they research this stuff like on a scientific level. Like, how does this work? Like, how do popular music become popular? And these are the kind of things that they find. And writers and labels, they take advantage of that.
Yeah.
They take advantage of how the human mind works, and they use that to make songs get popular. And it's just the way it is. And once you get to that part where you're analyzing on that level, then you're not really enjoying the music. You're just saying, I see what you did there. Like, that was slick.
Yeah. You wanted me to react to this.
Yeah, like I can appreciate the cleverness of music and how they do it, but then it's just like when you're analyzing, are you really enjoying it, or are you just analyzing?
Yeah.
So all of that to come back and say this, it's like I was wondering, like, when I got to a certain point of growth, I was like, and I kind of have made the decision at this point. Okay. But it was like,
are you going to reveal it in this episode?
We're going to talk about it. And I was getting to a point where I was starting to grow, and I'm starting to get listeners, and congratulations on me hitting 1 million listeners, and so on and so forth. And I was like, okay, so like, I obviously have the talent, I obviously have the ability and the knowledge. I could do it. Like, I could just dive into this full time, and I could probably make a career out of this between the content creation and the music and diversifying my incomes, and I could probably make it work. Do I want to do that? Or do I want to just continue to do it because I love music? Like, I create music more so because I love it, because it is my creative outlet. It is my diary, as I said several times before. And it's just like, but it's like, for some reason in the human mind, we all think like, if I can do what I love for a living,
that would be a dream come true.
That's the dream come true. Like, to just do what I love for a living. And me, I actually kind of disagree with that.
Okay.
I kind of disagree with that statement because, well, one,
and to make it very clear, putting pause on that thought, I just wanted to bring up the fact that you are now in a place where you have a steady number as of concurrent listeners. You have built over time, slowly but steady, a fan base that always goes back to your music. You have like what I call your hardcore loyal ones. So you're at that point now. So it's not like you're trying to be discovered, though you're still working in that discovery phase, but
Yeah, you're getting ahead of me.
Okay.
We're gonna get there.
Okay.
I see where
Alright.
you're going, but we're not there yet. Like,
Okay.
I wanna paint the picture so everybody can kind of see where I'm coming from.
Nice.
But as I was saying, like I have, like I said, I have the ability, I have the knowledge, I have the skills. I could do it. Like I could do it, but I started thinking about what it would take for me to do that. Because like I said, yeah, taking the thing that you love and turning it into a business, I don't necessarily agree that that's going to necessarily make you happy. Because
Okay.
what I found is when I started doing research, and this is just for me, it may not apply to everybody, but I'm applying it to myself. What I found is in a lot of cases, the thing that you love to do doesn't necessarily make the most money.
Oh yeah.
So that's something you have to consider. Does the thing, and let's see, I'm see how I'm gonna break this up. So this also can apply to anybody.
Yeah.
When you want to talk about turning your business, your passion into your business, the first thing you have to look at is,
Consider.
does the thing that you're passionate about make enough money for you to live off of?
Yeah. Can you make a profit out of it?
Can you do it? And looking at myself, the music industry isn't necessarily the biggest place to make music, to make money. Because what most people don't realize is that most of the money that comes into the music industry is not from the music.
Okay. Explain.
Touring is a big part of artist money.
Oh yeah.
Merchandise,
Merchandising.
outside businesses.
Yeah. Outsourcing.
Yeah,
A
because
lot
you got to
of-
think
yeah.
about it. Like, what does Rihanna make most of her money from? Probably
Beauty products.
beauty products.
Her
all
other business, her
Yeah.
other side hustles. Her lingerie company, the clothing line.
How much of that
basically.
is really coming from music? Not much.
Not much, really.
It's the tours, it's the merchandise.
She's probably also making even more money because there's probably less people managing those other businesses compared to her music career.
True. But like I said, most of that is coming from outside of music.
Yeah.
And that's how most artists make their money.
Not music really. Oh, cologne, perfumes.
Yeah, perfumes. I'm
all
saying,
that
like,
stuff. Yeah.
If you look at most artists, most of the money that they get do not necessarily come from the music itself. It's usually, like I said, touring, shows, appearances, outside businesses. The music is usually a jumping off platform.
Yeah.
Like you usually make more music off your celebrity disc and off your name
your
than
brand.
the actual music itself. So like how many people are actually making a living just off the music?
Yeah.
And I'm like, not most. So how do you do that? You have to have outside businesses. You got to have you got to diversify your income.
Diversify.
They usually have a YouTube channel that's bringing in some income. They usually have products that they're selling that's
Yeah.
bringing in income. They usually have other ventures.
We've seen real life stories of this where people have pivot and moved into other industries.
Yeah, like
to
a lot
make
of some of them
more
become
money.
actors.
Like,
Some of them
I'll
become-
give you a perfect example. Dwayne Johnson. He
Yeah.
originally was known to be a popular wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Then he steered away from wrestling and became an actor. And now he has so many side hustles, like
Mm-hmm.
the gym sponsorships, his tequila, all the other stuff he does on the side. That is like he's making more money out of that now
Mm-hmm.
than he ever was when he originally started as a wrestler.
And that's true. But a big difference in that is, though, there is actually a lot of money to be made in wrestling by itself. Like he could have stayed in wrestling and still made a pretty decent living for himself.
Yeah, of course.
That's not the case with music. Like with music, there's not many artists who make a lot of money who are just music artists. That's all we do. That's all I do is make music, nothing else. I don't do shows. I don't do performance. I don't do none of that stuff. And I it's hard to make a lot of money doing just
Isn't
music.
your
and
favorite
nothing else.
artist technically isn't just an artist like Jay-Z, for example?
Yeah, like Jay-Z, he owns his own record label.
Yeah.
He owns his own touring company. He owns his own music platform. He's the owner of Tidal. Like, he is a bunch of other stuff where probably 99% of his money comes from. So that's the first thing you got to consider is, can you even make a living doing what you're passionate about? So that's step one.
Yeah.
All right, moving forward. Hey, Leon.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, how you doing? Somebody's joining us. All right, well, I'm going to keep going.
Yeah, go ahead.
Part 2 is, all right, once you get into, all right, so once you figured out whether or not that is the case, that you can make a living doing it, and if how you would do it. 2 is, what is required for that? What is required? For, you know, and to give you an example, I'll go back to looking at myself again. What would be required for me to make a living doing music? 1, I would have to hire a team.
Facts.
There is no artist in the industry that does everything themselves and makes a living doing it.
Oh, no.
It's not possible. You got to have writers. You got to have...
We had this talk recently.
Yeah.
Which I know you'll cover at a certain point. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to have writers. You got to have production team. You got to have engineers. You got to have a tour team. You got to have a promotion team. You got to have a management. You got to have financial advisors. Like, there's a lot of pieces that have to be in place to reach that level of, like, I'm going to be the best. Even for indie artists, like what's my guy's name? The guy that you love Russ. Even he has a team.
Yeah.
Even at the level, he's not like the top echelon of artists.
Yeah.
But even he has a team. He has somebody that, you know, helps him with his tours and management and production and like all that stuff. Like, you have to put something together around that to do it. So you got to think about all those factors, and all those factors, once again, are going to cost money. So the money you are making is going to have to go back into the business. So that's another thing you need to consider is, all right, what else is required for me to do that? 3rd, what do I have to give up in order to do it?
That's the biggest one.
Like, these is something you got to consider. Looking back at myself, once again, because I feel like it's the perfect example of, in order to give up, one of the things I would have to give up a lot of is time. A lot of time is required. You're going to spend hours and hours and hours in the studio perfecting these songs, changing them, fitting them, making them work for everything. You have to spend a lot of time into this. If this is how you're making your living, you can't just write something, record it, throw it out, and then bam, just rock. No, everything has to be very well crafted, perfectly executed. Sound has to be perfectly tight. Like, you have to meet the standards and qualities of professional level music, which requires a lot of time.
Yeah.
So a lot of time is something you have to put into it. 2, and I'm going to make some people upset with this one. All the music heads are going to get upset with me on this one, but they're going to know I'm telling the truth. Integrity.
Yeah.
You're going to have to give up a lot of integrity. You're going to have to do some stuff that you not necessarily might agree with. You might have to do a song that don't necessarily sit right with you. You might have to cover some topics that you wouldn't normally cover. You might have to do some lowbrow stuff that you might not be interested in actually doing. You have to kind of lean into the trends to remain. And the same thing is like, and the funny thing is, the same things I'm saying actually kind of apply to content creation too.
Yes.
You have to follow the trends. Like, you have to, what's the thing that's going to get the numbers? What's going to bring in the numbers? What's going to bring in the viewers? What's hot right now? The same thing that applies to music also applies to content creation. Like, you kind of have to follow those trends, and you have to do the things that you may not necessarily want to do, but because that's what's hot right now and that's what's going to bring in a number. Because now it's not about just doing what you're doing for fun. It's about, I got bills to pay.
Yeah.
I got bills to pay. I got people. I got employees I got to pay now. I got a lot of people who are depending on me now financially. So it can't just be about what I want to do.
Yeah, I got to make it to payroll.
Yeah, it's about what's going to make money.
Yeah.
What's going to bring in those dollars so I can pay my employees, pay my producers, pay my writers, pay my management. Like, these people are going to be expecting a paycheck. And I can't just do what I want to do if I know that what I want to do isn't necessarily going to be what's the most profitable. Mm-hmm. So sometimes integrity has to go out the window. So that's something you got to consider. So like I said, that's part 3 is like, what do I have to give up in order to do that? And then I'm gonna go into this last part, and I'm gonna let you talk about how you feel about it, and then I'll end it up with where I ended up.
Okay.
And the 4th thing is, and this is kind of what we talked about in the beginning. The 4th part of that is, all right, so now that I've considered, can I make money doing it? What is required for that? And what do I have to give up? if I do those first three things, will I still enjoy doing what I'm doing? Is it still my passion at that point? Will I still love it? Now that I've made all these adjustments and changes to make money doing it, do I actually still enjoy it? After all those changes have been made, would I actually still enjoy doing it? Is it still fun anymore? Is it still my passion anymore? Do I still care about it? Is this how I want to spend the rest of my life? Because now that I'm making money off of this, especially in industries like music and content creation, because once you get into it, it's really hard to pivot out of those. It's not like a 9-to-5 job where it's like, if I don't like this job, I could just go get another one.
Yeah, you just go job hopping.
Yeah, you can't really do that when you're your own business, when you are the business.
Yeah.
You can't just wake up one day and be like, I don't want to do this no more.
You just shut everything
Just shut everything. I'm done. I want to do something different. I want to pivot. I don't want to do gaming anymore. I want to do this, or I don't want to do this kind of music anymore. I want to do this. Like, it's those things, those kind of changes are very hard to make.
Yeah.
Because now you got to consider how much money that's going to bring in. Can I still afford to pay the people I have doing that? Like, you have to consider those first three things again for any changes that
some people have already digged a hole for themselves in the sense that they got loans they took out for these things.
Or you've become known for that one thing, and that's what people expect from you.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, we can go into gaming talking about this. Banjo-Kazooie 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the best
Classic.
platformers of all times, regarded as this is what people expect out of a Banjo-Kazooie game. Then Banjo 3 comes out, nuts and bolts, changes the entire formula.
Not a bad concept, just not
Pretty
what people
dope, but just not what people want. It's not even a bad game.
Yeah.
It's just not what people would consider Banjo-Kazooie.
Exactly.
Same thing happened with Resident Evil.
You did Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, Resident Evil 4, everybody's
And while
like,
it's still a good game.
some people hate where that game has taken the franchise.
Yeah.
There's some people who are on the survival horror side of it who hate Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
And then there's some people who are on the Resident Evil 4 side who like the horror action.
Yeah.
Is what I'll call it. And it basically split the fan base on the franchise. Some people love Resident Evil 4, some people hate it.
Yeah.
So these are things that you gotta, when you change like that, you are at the risk of losing your audience. Same thing with music. If you pivot out of what you're known for doing, like if I'm known for gaming raps and throwing the gaming references in there. If one day I just stop doing that, I'm at a risk of losing that audience now. The audience that I built up who followed me because of the gaming references and all the stuff that I did, I'm at a risk of losing that audience now. So these are all the things that you have to consider when you want to turn your passion into a business. So what are your thoughts on what I've said so far?
I mean, it's really interesting because, like you said, we have been going through this ourselves. Like, even though we don't, I know you'll give your answer towards the end of how you consider your thing to be, if it's a hobby or a business at this point. I still think that this is something that you're going to continuously be thinking about from time to time. Because, I mean, if you're growing, like, growing is not a straight line. It has its ups and downs. So it just kind of depends where you are at creatively or in what season you're in. And I've gone through that several times. I'm going through it right now again as we speak. Because, like, we had an episode about this where I talked about my entire creative journey, how it started, where I was at, what were my end goals, and where I'm currently at right now. So to put it in a nutshell, I started as a family channel, then I pivoted into 90s nostalgia, then I pivoted again into gaming. Then there was a point in my life that I decided that maybe I wanted to quit, because in that phase I was taking it into what was a business. I was taking my whole entire career and turning it into a business. I dare say. Let me just phrase it better. And then after I turned it into a business, then I figured out, maybe I don't want this to be a business, because, like we mentioned earlier, it did ruin my passion for the hobby. for what I enjoyed.
Because of the things and that's why I broke it down the way I broke it down. Because now we can take you through all the steps. Now we're going to take you through all the steps.
Yeah. And it almost feels like I had lost something, like I was going through the different phases of grieving, where you're going through denial. Then you're dealing with anger, and then until naturally you heal and you've overcome your grieving process. Like I felt like that's what it's been for me creatively. Like I was going through a grieving process.
So we're gonna walk you through the steps, and then we're gonna see where you end up.
Yeah.
And then that'll give people a good example or template to what to follow. So now people can see that it doesn't apply just to what I'm talking about. It can apply to anything.
Yeah.
So part 1 is, can you actually make a living doing what you do?
Study and play come together on a Windows 11 PC. And for a limited time, college students get the best of both worlds. Get the Unreal College Deal. Everything you need to study and play with select Windows 11 PCs. Eligible students get a year of Microsoft 365 Premium and a year of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with a custom color Xbox wireless controller. Learn more at windows.com/student offer. While supplies last. Ends June 30th. Terms at aka.ms/collegepc.
We all have that dream trip we've been wishing we could go on. But too often, life, or usually price, gets in the way. That's why Priceline is here to help you turn your dream trip into reality. With up to 60% off hotels and up to 50% off flights, you can book everything you need for your next adventure. Don't just dream about that next trip. Book it with Priceline. Download the Priceline app or visit Priceline.com and book your next trip today.
Go to your happy price, Priceline.
Is there enough money into it, and how would you have to go about doing that?
Yes and no. Because once again, like you said, you can't necessarily just make money entirely out of this one thing. You have to branch out. You're going to have to diversify your income. So going back to your question, can I make money off of this one thing by itself? No. Unless you're a very charismatic person and you're really good at what you do, no. I can't just wake up tomorrow and be like, I'm a YouTube partner. This is it. I did it. I made it. I'm going to get a bunch of money. I'm going to live off of just nothing but my ads. And that's it. Just keep doing it. No. Doesn't work that way. Because here I am. I'm a YouTube partner for years. And no, that has not been the case. Has it brought me good opportunities?
Yeah.
With the potential to make money? Yes, you've seen it. So yes, I'm not gonna lie about that. But I can't say that I can live off of just doing YouTube. I can't do that. So,
and that leads perfectly into the second part of it. So in order to make a living doing what you do, what would be required?
Well, a perfect example is like how I was previously doing it. So for example, I had a Patreon, which was directly linked into fans supporting the content. Then I had my live streams, which relied heavily on those tips. Then I had my merchandise that would also depend. A lot of this is like heavy on the community supporting you, their money, and then the other stuff is outside their scope, but partnerships, sponsorships, ad placements, guest appearances, and things like that along the lines, product placement. It all sounds the same, but it's different in its own way. But those are the other stuff I would have to do outside, which goes back to what you were saying musically. Some of it sometimes would test your integrity, because there might be a company that offers you to pay you really good money for a product that maybe would bring some kind of conflict with your channel and your content and your audience, because it doesn't necessarily match.
And see how naturally this is happening, because this naturally moves us into part 3. What would you have to give up?
So
in order to, although now considering the first two things, what would you have to give up in order to to make a living.
Well, one, if you're doing this by yourself and you really think you can do this all by yourself, it's going to be time. Because the more hats you wear, the more roles you carry out, the more time it requires. You know, you need time for research, depending what niche you do. You need time to record, you need time to edit, you need time to promote, you need time for the other stuff you do on the side, because what people don't understand is it's not only the video. Once the video's out, it's out. It's all the stuff you do outside of the video. Mm-hmm. So all the social media marketing, all the sponsorships, all the other things you have to do, the guest appearances, the trips, leaving your house to go to the con for a weekend, that entails a bunch of organization, a bunch of finances being moved to make that one thing work, and time. Because like me, if you have a family, you have to probably drag your family with you to that event, you know? So now everybody's schedule is being changed because they got to work around whatever you're doing, you know? So time, I hate to say it, integrity, once again, we're bringing that back into, because, I mean, let's face it, you're going to be tested in a lot of things. So how are you going to address different matters? How bad do you really want your dream to succeed, and what are you willing to give up? I know some creators that have taken a route that I personally wouldn't take, but that's what they do because, you know, money was more important down the line. So,
and I think another thing that people don't think about in your field as well is niche.
Like
you may get caught or stuck in a niche that you don't necessarily want to get stuck or caught.
And there's a ceiling. There is a ceiling for each niche. Some this is always an ongoing joke, niche or niches. It's always like people never know how to say it. But regardless, like some of them are going to be better off than others. Like for example, tech is always going to be a much more better space because it moves so fast. There's always new things happening, you know. Finances is another one, you know. And then there's other ones like, I hate to say it, but like retro gaming and gaming in general. Like it may feel big. We've talked about this just because we're in it and we enjoy it, but really it's not a big space.
It's a niche.
It is a niche. And then depending how much you narrow down, then it's even smaller, you know? Because some of the stuff I like, I already have recognized that it's even smaller. Yeah. You know, so are you willing to understand and accept that you're only going to grow so far? There are those exceptions, people that really do a good job, you know, in each one of those spaces, but somebody disagrees with me. But
you don't agree, Leon?
But yeah, I mean, that's as much as I have to say, for real.
And then that brings us down to the last part of it is, now that you've considered all these things, like having a baby.
Yeah, that too. I think this, like you said, this branches out at just life in general.
So now the final part is, now that you've considered the parts 1, 2, and 3.
The trilogy.
Now that you've gone through the trilogy, if you did all these things to get to where you want to, you know, go financially and to make the money and to be able to do this for a living, now that all of these things have been and all these changes have been made, do you still enjoy it now? Would you still enjoy it? Is it still your passion, or is it now just become a job?
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go and leave you for last? Because I mean, technically, this is your discussion.
Yeah, you can leave me for last. You go ahead.
Okay.
So now, if you did all these things that you said you would have to do it for a living, are you still gonna love it?
See, that's the hard part, because I wish I had a straight answer for this. Because a couple of years ago, I would have said no. Because I seriously wanted to succeed in this space as a business. So if you told me, okay, you can't have any of this, are you gonna enjoy? I would have said no. it's a waste of time. I'm just going to move on to the next thing. I would have stopped. Now I say yes, but it's because I'm giving it an opportunity again, and I'm steering away from the aspect. I'm giving up on the whole idea that I'm going to do this as a business. And I'm just turning it into a hobby. So now what's the difference? Because we talked about this at the beginning. Business arts versus creative arts. So since I'm taking now the route of a creative art, I don't have the pressure to have to perform a certain kind of way, because it's a hobby. And when you're doing a hobby, it's more about displaying where you're at creatively than having to prove how good you're at something. Okay. And then creatively, it's all about the community. Like when you're doing something creatively as a hobby, you're more so wanting to just share. So naturally, you're going to attract other people that appreciate the same thing you appreciate, and therefore the outcome of it is that you're going to end up either joining a community or building a community around that. And can I just mention this thing real quick?
Do you think?
I feel like community has been taken out of context so badly.
Agree.
Like I feel like people don't fully understand anymore what the word community even means.
Oh yeah.
And I just want to make that very clear right now, because everybody and their mama now uses the word community nowadays. Pepsi talks about community. The movie theaters use community. The makeup down the neighborhood, you know what I mean, uses the word community. And community has turned into a thing of online.
It's just a buzzword.
I buy a product, and because I buy this product and consume this product, I'm part of the community.
Yeah, it's a buzzword now.
I follow this page, so because I follow this page, I'm part of a community. And that's not what a community is, because when a community in reality is a group of people that collectively share the same ideals, the same interests, and they give and take, they share, they exchange, they work together as a community. And they work together because the goal is to reach a certain outcome, to meet a certain end. That is what a community is. So I can't be like, I'm gonna use myself as an example, so nobody be saying we're talking about anybody. I can't just tell you, go subscribe to my channel and be a part. No, that's a call to action. That doesn't necessarily make you part of my community. What makes you part of my community would be, for example, if I'm live streaming and I'm having live interactions with you, I'm talking to you, you're talking to me, I'm getting to know you, you're getting to know me, and now we're exchanging ideas, we're getting to know each other. And once you know it, now we're starting to build some kind of community, because it's not you listen to everything I have to say and just do as I say. No, I also care for what you're interested in. That's a community. I just felt like I had to bring that to the light, because community as a whole, the context has been so distorted.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with everything that you said there. And to finish this off with a nice little bow, for me, it's actually pretty simple. When I went through all of the steps that we just described, and basically what I'm saying is, if you're considering making your passion a business, I would like you to go through these 4 steps that I've talked about. 1, can you make money doing it? 2, what is required for that? 3, what do you have to give up? And 4, do I still love it? You go through those steps and you'll be able to easily make a decision, because you're going to see as natural as you saw Zap go through the process and come to her conclusion, I was able to do the same thing. And for me, it was actually even simpler than I thought. Because for me, just being the person that I am, I don't think I could ever do it for a living. Because me, I like to do what I like to do, when I like to do it, how I like to do it. And that's not very conducive to a business. As a business person, you can't do what you want to do, when you want to do it, how you want to do it. It's not how it works. And that's how I make music. Like, I pivot whenever I feel like it. Like, I may do a rap album one day, and the next day I'll do a album. I'll do All About You. I'll do All About You, and then everybody loves All About You, and they're like, oh, you should do another All About You. I'm like, no, I'm gonna do something completely different now.
Yeah, you did say that. You're like, no, I'm
not. No, like if I wanted to make it a business, then I would have All About You would have been the series.
Yeah,
because that's the one that got the most views, did the most numbers. Like that was the album. I could have continued to do more and more and more albums like that, build a movie around it and all that. Like that was the one. That was the model.
That was
All About You was, but yeah, it was a lot of work. But All About You was the model. Like if I wanted to continue to do what I was doing, that's the model I would have followed. It was the album that got the most views. It was the album that got the most streams. That was the one that put me on the map. That was the one. My next album should have been All About You too, or still All About You, or whatever the case. That if I wanted to make it a business, then I would have stuck within that model. But I had already did it, and I didn't want to do it. So I'm like, no, I'm going to do something, and that's not conducive to a business. I don't like to be told what to do. I don't like to be forced to do anything. I don't like having to stick myself in a certain box musically. I don't like when people call me a rapper. I don't like when people call me a singer. I am a music artist. I may rap one day, I may sing one day, I may do Afro beats one day, I may do go another day, I may do reggaeton. Like I'm going to do whatever I do whenever I feel like doing it and how I want to do it. And can't do that with a business.
No.
So it was very obvious that the way I'm doing things would never be conducive to doing this for a living, because I want to do it when I want to do it, and I don't want to do it when I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
There are times where I just don't feel like doing music. It's like, no, I'm not doing nothing today. I'm not making nothing today. I'm taking a break. I'm not making nothing. There was a whole year where I didn't drop an album.
Yeah.
Because I let y'all guys go. I was like, I'm going to focus on everybody else this year.
You said it was much needed.
Yeah. And even on a bigger level, and I hate to say it, but it's true, and I'm just going to say it, and then this is how we go into the episode.
Okay. I don't know where he's going with y'all.
But if for me, the main reason why I could never turn this into a business is because one of the things that I know I would have to give up in order to make this a business is Master Sword Music.
People are full of surprises, especially when you travel together. Thankfully, Vrbo is not. When you book a Vrbo, you get Vrbo Care and 24/7 live support, so your house doesn't surprise you like your friends might. If something's not as described or doesn't work, Vrbo's there. Real people, real support, anytime. Book today on the Vrbo app. If you know, you Vrbo. Terms apply. See vrbo.com/trust for details.
Pepsi Prebiotic Cola in original and cherry vanilla. That Pepsi taste you love with just 30 calories and no artificial sweeteners. Pepsi Prebiotic Cola. Unbelievably Pepsi.
Oh.
I would have to give up Master Sword Music.
Yeah.
I would have to get away with, and I mean that on all levels. Like one, I would have to focus on just me.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to brag or not trying to put myself above nobody. So I'm just being honest. Like I'm the one who brings in the most of the numbers. I'm the one that most people focus on. I'm the one that most people show up to the channel for, because I'm the one that's been there most of the time. Like that's people know the channel and the music for me.
I mean, you're the face of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so like that just is what it is. So I would have to, in order to have that consistency of income, I would need to focus on the moneymaker. And this is what most big labels do. They have that big artist that they focus most of the time and attention and money on, and everybody else just gets what's left
like
over.
Beyonce when she left Destiny Child.
Yeah, it was like, all right, we need to focus in on this because this is where the money's gonna be.
Yeah.
Or like in the case of Rockefeller Records, it was Jay-Z. Like, yeah, did Jay-Z have other artists under him? Yeah, but they were always under him. That was the thing. Like, they were never the center of attention.
Yeah.
2, I would have to get away from Master Sword music as a concept. Like we were talking about earlier, a niche within a niche within a niche.
Yeah.
That's Master Sword music all day. Like, first of all, within the niche of music. Second of all, we're in the niche of gaming references in music.
Yeah.
So it's like gaming music, and then we're in another niche of hip hop and R&B, which is a niche. Not everybody in the world listens to hip hop and R&B.
Yeah.
So like that's a niche within a niche within a niche. So I would have to break all of those modes.
Yeah.
Like, I would never be able to be the top artist in the world making video game music. It's just not gonna happen.
Like, even if you step into another genre, there's going to be a ceiling for that one because not everybody listens to that genre.
But it would be probably much better than the ceiling that I've set for myself now.
Yeah.
Because it's first, like I said, hip hop, R&B, that's already a ceiling. Video game references and video game stuff, that's a niche.
Yeah.
So it's like you're already in a weird bubble that I've kind of created myself. So like I would have to give that up. And I would have to give up all the artists. Because it was like I can't, on my own, I can't facilitate everybody. And those are things that I know I can never do. I could never give up Master Sword music as a concept. I could never give up Master Sword music as a family. I could never give up the artists. I could never do that because then I really wouldn't want to do it anymore. Like that, the reason I do what I do is because of the people I've touched, because of the people I've reached, because whose people careers I've started. Like Thousand Star would never even have gotten into music if it wasn't for me. Kotetsu would have never even gotten into production if it wasn't for me. Like you never would have came back to music if it wasn't for me. So it's like that is the reason why I do what I do.
I feel like it would be harder on you too because then it would absolutely fall all on you.
Yeah.
For your own success. And like right now, I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about this, but anyhow, to paraphrase, you said you've found relief in a lot of stuff because of having that support.
Oh yeah, for sure.
As a whole, as a group.
For sure. Having that's the reason why I've chosen the people to be a part that I've chosen to be a part, because everybody brings something to the table that is useful. Everybody has a skill and a skill set that can be utilized in some kind of way to help the team as a whole. But like I said, I could never, funny as it is, it was never my intention for everything to be about me. And even though somehow that is the case, that was never my intention. Like it was never supposed to be, I was never supposed to be the leader of Master Sword music. It's just that when we all came together, everybody just turned to look at me and say, hey, what we doing? And I just came the leader by default. Like that was never my intention for it to be the way it is. But I love what it is. I love what we've become as a group. I love what we've become as friends. I've loved what we've become as a family. I love even the people outside of Master Sword music, like your Sounds of the Rains and your Justins and your Goddesses and all the people that I've managed to meet, and Tiger Chainsaw, you know what I'm saying? Like I actually got to meet the guy at a con, and he was a part of the intro for one of my biggest projects, and I got to be a part of his channel and doing stuff for other people, and doing music things for other content creators, and being a part of this and that, and that actual, that what you would call it, actual community.
Yeah, facts.
That is the reason why I got into this, because of the community that Master Sword music has built around us as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the people I've met through Thousand Star, like your Jimmy No Froze, or the people like Justin I met through VG, and all the connections and stuff that I've made with people through others in that community. That is what Master Sword music is about. And and because of what we do, will we ever become the biggest? No. Will we ever become the richest? No. We're a niche within a niche within a niche in a specific community and a group of people. But it is what I love to do. And that is why I do it, and that is why I continue to do it. And that is why I have decided that this is a hobby for me.
That's dope.
This is a hobby, and this is just, I'm doing it more so for myself. Because I love creating, I love sharing, I love touching other people, I love inspiring other people. Like I've had people come to me and be like, yo, like recently we did the Three Kings thing with Sound of the Rain, and he was telling me how much I inspired him with my consistency and how much work I put in. And
he's been having too much fun with his promo and stuff, by the way.
Yeah, like I can see the energy that I spark in people, because people look at me and be like, wow, if he can do that, what can I do?
Yeah.
If he can do that as a full-time father, a husband with a full-time job, look what he's managed to do, even though he probably shouldn't be able to do any of these things, because he has a whole complete life outside of this thing.
Yeah.
He is like I said, father, husband, full-time worker. Like he's still able to do what he does, and people are inspired by that. And I see people who get into music because of me, or people who reach out and tell me like, yo, I love what you're doing, keep doing what you're doing. And those are the things that drive me to keep going and keep going forward. And it's never been about money, because if it was, I would have quit years ago. Because even though people may not understand how music streaming works, you get paid cents on cents for a stream. Like one stream is like 0.01 cent.
They've gotten better recently with it, but it's still
that's the increase. With the increase, it's like 0.1 cent for a stream.
It's crazy.
Like 1 million streams is like $100.
That's crazy.
Maybe.
That is
just to give context, 1 million streams, maybe $100.
Not too far away from the truth of content creation, though.
So it's like, if it was about money, I wouldn't even be here.
Yeah.
So once I went through that process and I reached that point where I was like, it's time to make a decision. And like I said, I'm all about my autonomy. Like, you're not going to tell me what I'm going to do. You're not going to tell me, all right, you got to make a club song now. All right, you got to make we was talking about this earlier. You got to make some drug dealer music now. That's what's hot right now. You got to do that. Or you got to do some strip club music. That's what's hot right now. You got to do that. And you got to do a song with you got to do a song with Ice Spice now. She hot right now. You got to get that feature with Ice Spice right now. And it's just like, nah, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
I would be the worst.
That happened recently with Bruno Mars that we know for a fact.
Yeah, like that was for the money. That was for the money.
They did that song with Sexy Red.
That was for the money.
You're like,
that was for the money. That was for the money. I don't care what nobody has to say. That was for a check.
Yeah, because ain't no way.
Did it for a check. Like, we know this is gonna make some money. Let's just go ahead and knock this joint out and get this money.
Yeah.
Like, and I would be the worst artist of all time, because I would turn down opportunities like that. Yeah. I would see an opportunity. I would be given an opportunity like that, and I would instantly be like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I would be a bad business to invest in, because I'm not going to do it unless I want to do it.
I feel like each industry does that from time to time, because like recently, right now with The Sims 4, they did that with the SpongeBob movie now, and they did a whole pack, which The Sims did it with the whole
the streaming thing they did when they had Doja Cat on there.
Doja Cat in there.
It's like it's just stuff like that. I'm just like, I'm not doing that.
You're like,
I'm not doing that, because like that's not what the people listen to me for. That's not what people come here for.
And we're not saying that some of these people aren't gamers in that case.
It's not even about. That's not even my point. The
but
point
that's not the main reason why they brought.
There are people who are gamers who are not famous.
Yeah.
Why can't we get them? You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
Let's not act like we don't get these people because of their names.
Because of their names.
Like, it doesn't. Maybe she is a gamer. Maybe she does like The Sims.
But people did not come there because of that.
That's not why people are coming. They're coming because it's Doja Cat.
They wanted to see her.
They want to see Doja Cat.
That's it.
Like let's keep it real. And I'm never gonna be that kind of person. Like, I'm just not built like that. I'm not going to just jump on something just because it's the hot thing to do or it's the cool thing to do, or I'm going to do what I want to do because that's what I want to do. And that's the only way I even know how to make music. Like, I can't even do the hot thing because that's just not how I make music. It's just literally whatever I feel in the moment at the time is what I create. I can't make music that way. So it's just like, what's the point of even attempting to put myself in that category when I can't even do it? I don't make music that way. So that's why I decided that Master Sword music will always continue to be a hobby. And I do this for myself. I do this for me and the people who enjoy me. And that's the way it's always going to be. Because at the end of the day, I don't want to ruin my love for music and my love for creation. So I just rather stick to what I'm doing. I got my 9 to 5 that pays my bills, that takes care of my family.
Hey.
And then on the side, I got my music that makes me happy. So
nice.
There you go.
You got your y'all got your answer.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
And like I said, since this topic was about should you turn your passion into your business, like I said, that is a decision for each individual.
Yeah.
But if you listen to the steps that I outlined today, I think making that decision would be a lot easier.
Of course. 1,
can you make money doing it? 2, what does that require? 3, what do I have to give up?
Yeah.
And 4, do I still love it? You go through those steps and you'll be able to make the best decision for yourself. It was just using me as an example was the best way to highlight that, so you can see that I'm not just saying things just to say it.
Yeah.
I'm saying these things because that's how I was able to make the decision. That's how I was able to choose what is best for me, because these are the steps that I went through. So.
And there's no right or wrong answer.
There is no right or wrong answer.
It's just whatever
if you
that
want to
answer
do it,
is.
if there may be an artist out there who's like, I actually do want to make money doing this, and I'm willing to make those changes, and I'm willing to sacrifice these things, then go ahead and do that. That doesn't make me better than you. That doesn't make you better than me. It's just that we have different priorities.
Exactly.
You know? So it is what it is. But I just think that everybody should go through those steps before you make that decision. Because you may make a decision that may hurt you in the long run.
Yeah.
And you should do the thing that you want to do because you want to do it. If that's how you want to make your living, then do that because that's what you want to do. Not because somebody told you should do it, or you feel like you have to do that because you're doing it. Like, go through these steps, make the decision for yourself, and that's pretty much that's why I brought up this topic, because I feel like this is something that doesn't get talked about.
It's been a minute, actually. Like we talked about this a long time ago. And when you brought it up, I was like, man, I got to save this in my notes. And it's hopefully at some point we can have this discussion. And I'm glad now we finally got to do it.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was fun to go through it with you and kind of analyze where I'm at right now and see how I still feel about even the stuff I do. As of currently.
So with that being said,
I'm
taking over.
Okay.
All right.
Do your thing.
I want to remind you all.
Okay.
To reset.
I know where this is going.
And TeeJay.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Zap, however you feel.
Okay.
You could also Zap if you want to.
Oh, thank you.
But you should TeeJay though.
Okay.
For the week.
For the week.
Peace out.
Bye. Do, 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 do.
A text says, "You're on my mind." A bouquet from 1-800-Flowers says, "You're my everything." Heartfelt moments belong in the real world, not just your phone. For 50 years, 1-800-Flowers has helped millions of people make memories that'll last a lifetime with gifts they'll cherish forever. Their expertly curated arrangements and gift baskets ship nationwide with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Don't wait for the next big moment. Make it when you visit 1-800-Flowers.com/Spotify today. That's 1-800-Flowers.com/Spotify.
You can't reason with the sun. Trust us, we've tried. This summer, it's time to put that angry ball of fire on mute. Columbia's Omni-Shade technology is engineered to protect you from the sun's harsh rays that can burn and damage your skin. The sun is relentless, but so is our gear. Level up your summer at Columbia.com to spend more time outside and less time slathering on aloe lotion. You're welcome. Columbia, engineered for whatever.